Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making blondies, but not just any blondies, but the most delicious white chocolate blondies with raspberries and blackberries and some Amaretti biscuits. Let's get started. So in my saucepan I have 225 grams, so about a cup of unsalted butter that I need to melt first. And I'm using white chocolate to make these blondies, and white chocolate can be very tricky and it burns really quickly. So instead of melting the chocolate with the butter, I'm going to melt the butter, and then using the warmth of butter I'm going to melt the chocolate. So let's melt that. When my butter is melting, I am going to chop my white chocolate into smaller pieces. So my chocolate is now chopped and the butter is melted, so I'm going to pour my butter over the chocolate, and it's not hot, it's just warm. I am going to leave that aside and let the warmth of the butter to melt the chocolate. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to measure my dry ingredients. And I'm going to need about 150 grams of plain flour, and in my flour needs to go about half a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Let's sit that together, put that aside, and let's check on our chocolate. So my chocolate is now melting really nicely, and when my butter and chocolate mixture is smooth, I can add to it about a cup of sugar, and I'm using half a cup of granulated sugar, which is going to give our blondies nice crunchy top, and half a cup of dark brown sugar to give it nice chewiness. Let's change to the whisk. And into this mixture we are going to add our eggs. I'm going to need 3 eggs. One at a time and stirring so they are nicely incorporated into our mixture. Look how delicious that already looks. Vanilla extract. Stir that in. Now we can stir in our flour. And mix that in until there's no lumps and the butter is beautifully smooth. It has such wonderful caramely color and a smell of brown sugar. Absolutely delicious. So when our flour is mixed in, I'm going to add a little bit of crushed Amaretti biscuits. So I'm going to add about 50 grams of Amaretti biscuits biscuit. These I'm going to crush quite finely and add into my butter. I'm going to use my rolling pin. So as you can see, there's some very fine crumbs, dust and some bigger pieces. So these can go in. Pan, and I'm just going to mix them in with the spoon, fold them into my butter, and I can pour my blondies into my baking dish, and I'm using 10 by 12 inch baking pan that, as you can see, I've lined with parchment paper. And when my blondies are in a pan, I can add my berries, and I'm using frozen ones just because I've had them in my freezer. I'm gonna use them. Push them in a little bit. They will melt into the dough anyway, so don't worry, they're now sticking out. And I'm going to crumble some Amaretti biscuits on top of that. So my blondies now are going into the oven 160 degrees for about 40-45 minutes. And here are my beautiful blondies. As you can see, the sides are slightly darker, the middle is still a little bit wobbly, and that's what you want. Now we're gonna need them to sit for about 40 minutes until they are completely cool and properly set, and then we can cut into them. And finally, these have cooled down, and now I can give them a try. Oh my god, they are so good. They are crispy, chewy, and I can taste the Amaretti biscuits. That is a really good blondie. So guys, go ahead, make them yourself and enjoy, because I will definitely enjoy them. And I will see you next time. Bye! Oh, yummy.